Hey, what's going on, guys? Aarava here, and welcome back to the last question mark challenge here. This one for the final race in the 2017 season, the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Today, we're going to be driving as Felipe Massa in his Williams car because, of course, it is his final race, and hopefully this will be his actual final race. Of course, we had this the entire time last season, only for him to come back, but I think this should be his final race in Formula 1, so I only thought it was only fitting to drive as him for this challenge. Of course, last time we could have done that for his last Brazilian Grand Prix, but I thought it'd be good to drive as Lewis Hamilton, considering obviously Hamilton did actually start from the back in real life at the Brazilian Grand Prix. So that's why we've gone for Felipe Massa today. And if you're new around here to this challenge, it says it in the name. Obviously, we're starting from the back of the grid in P20, and we have a 25% race to try and see how far up the order we can get in the Williams car around Abu Dhabi. I think some solid points would be probably the aim, probably around, we're thinking maybe P7, best of the rest after the Red Bull, Ferrari, and Mercedes guys. But you never know what could happen around here. But it's going to be obviously a standard one stop with the super soft tyres and the ultra soft tyres being used. And of course, with this video being uploaded straight after the real life Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, be sure to let me know in the comments below what you thought of the real life finale, and we can see if I'm going to once again jinx anything. Of course, I did pretty damn awesome to actually predict Hamilton's finishing position in Brazil from P20 up the order. I actually matched that. Unfortunately, couldn't match the podium, but I did get his position just like I did way back with Alonso at Hungary. So I'm sure Felipe Massa won't be starting from the back for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, hopefully not, but I'll see if I can maybe match his result here. Obviously, he had a really good one at Brazil in real life, but you can see that's what I meant by the standard one stop ultra soft to the super soft. We will indeed be on the ultra soft. I think it'll be useful to try and use the softer compound straight away, try and get kind of basically the slower cars out of the way, the Saubers and McLarens, Toro Rossos, and try and get ahead of those guys, and then we can push hard and clean air. But here we go then, so 5 red lights for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix in the last question mark challenge from last place on the grid as Felipe Massa, and it is a good getaway from us and a really piss poor one for Stoffel Van Dorn and that Sauber car. We go down the inside then of the second one into turn one, a little bit of contact made. They go 3 wide ahead of us, the McLaren, Toro Rosso and Renault there of Carlos Sainz. He's going to get squeezed out here on the left hand side. We've gone down his inside and then to the outside for the next corner, and we're already up into P16, a little bit over the bumps, and we can now try maybe have a little bit of a late lunge on Pierre Gasly. He's going slowly. We're going to brake a little bit earlier, effectively do a bit of a switchback move on him to try and feed it to the outside of the hairpin, which is a bit of an unorthodox place to go around the outside, but I just thought I could get a bit of a better momentum doing the switchback move on him, and we've made it work. So up into rich mix to try and push past him and then try and get on the back of that McLaren Honda of Fernando Alonso. Obviously, he's going to be pretty easy pickings for us in a straight line. He goes a little bit defensive to the inside and the middle of the circuit. That will be no use for him, and we are now up into P14, and right behind one Kevin Magnussen being squeezed out there by the other Toro Rosso, Brendan Hartley, and then Romain Grosjean, his teammate here. So interestingly enough, actually, in terms of this race setup, because of the Williams, it's lacking a little bit in aerodynamics and the chassis performance. Around Abu Dhabi, I thought it was more important to have that kind of keyed in a little bit compared to the straight line speed. So I've gone for quite high wings. I think I'm running 8.8 or 8.7, so pretty damn high to try and give us the best turn in possible and downforce through this sector as we go down the inside then of Kevin Magnussen into the shimmy chicane, and we're up into P13. But you may see that's why as we go on through this race, as we get up to the kind of better cars, even the likes of this Toro Rosso really is it once it gets going in the Haas, and then you can see Verstappen lagging behind the Red Bull car. We may actually find it difficult to get them in the straight line despite having the Mercedes engine here, just because I've put up the wings so much to try and find the time in Sector 2 and Sector 3. But nonetheless, we go down this main straight, but you can see what I was literally talking about. I mean, lap 1 was different. We got Gasly very easily because we're already side by side with him, but now on Hartley, we have to do a bit more work basically in the second chicane now as we go around his outside then as he locked up, went deep and forced us wide, and we had to do a bit more work than I did on Fernando Alonso and Gasly previously. And actually comes back, and as you can see there, momentarily on the left-hand side, tried to maybe think about coming back at us down the inside there. We lock up, that's not going to help out, and proximity arrow goes red for a second, so you can see what I mean by, a little bit compromising there. But I think overall, this is going to be the better way to go, because now you can see we're closing straight up on Romain Grosjean, although we have a huge tank slapper, and we go off wide there on the curbing. But Grosjean here is going to get held up by Sergio Perez into turn 1, so we can feed it around the outside of the Frenchman and go the long way around on the next left-hander. It's going to be close. We have to go a little bit off circuit over the curbing there, but we squeeze past Grosjean, and now we can try and get on the back of the Force India. So good stuff there to get that nice and early, because the Haas is actually pretty damn decent in a straight line. So that may have been a difficult pass for us to make, and it may be a difficult one on Perez as well, to be honest. Obviously with the Mercedes engine in the back of his car, and I'm guessing the AI will always run kind of default here. So I think he's going to have a bit better straight line speed. Although the difference is now we do have DRS compared to obviously lap 2. We did not only activate on lap 3. So we do have DRS open. Rich mix flying. Here we go. In this slips, we're going to have to try and go for a bit of a late lunge. And as we do that, we kind of see that Perry's going to lop us off there. He locks up actually and kind of holds us up and brake checks us effectively. It's a good thing I didn't stick my nose in there. Otherwise I would have probably made some contact with him, and maybe it could have been a bit of front wing off. But now we go very, very close to that DRS board, and we cut to the left-hand side trying to get the inside line. And I'm going to try and shove Perry basically off onto the outside then for the next corner. He's going to try his best to maybe defend, but we go late on the brakes. You can see the brake disc glowing away as we get as late as possible on the brakes, and now we're up the order, and now we've got a lot of clean air, but we're in the top 10 now, points paying positions, and so we can try and chase after Verstappen, who's actually surprisingly at the tail end of this entire pack. So our teammates are doing really well. Lance Stroll ahead of the likes of Verstappen and Hülkenberg and Ocon in this train there, so he's doing a great job actually. So we come into the pit lane then for our first pit stop, and only pit stop of the afternoon, obviously being a 25% race behind Hülkenberg. So Verstappen continues on. So I think this will be a good opportunity for us to undercut people, because it seemed like that train had about 5 cars in it. So I would like to think they're going to hold each other up, and so we may have an opportunity to really do well. And you can see here we've already made one position there. Great work by the Williams crew to jump the Renault guys in the pit stop phases. So we're ahead of Nico Hülkenberg already as we go under the very unique pit lane exit underneath, and then back out again, and we'll come out in what will be P12, little bit wide on the exit then on the blue stuff there on the painted tarmac, but P12 then, and the only man ahead of us is Carlos Sainz on ultra soft tyres, obviously yet to make his pit stop I would imagine, and behind us Hülkenberg then a few seconds back. So good stuff there in the pit lane to gain 1 free position, so that's one less guy we have to worry about then. And so as we come through now the final corner across to a new lap now on lap 8, and so now we'll see where Lance Stroll, where Verstappen's going to feed out. As we go through turn 1, you can see that the guys on the minimap there were still coming through down underneath the kind of underpass. So as we swing through then the next few corners, as we come out, we're going to come out just behind Lance Stroll. We are ahead of Max Verstappen though, so great stuff there to undercut him, and we're right up the chuff of our teammate Lance Stroll. So we're in a great position now, P7, and it could be P6. So with Verstappen obviously the one down out of the order, I said we could maybe aim for best of the rest, which would have been this P7 we're in, but because Verstappen now is already behind us, the best of the rest is P6 now technically, is now up ahead is only the 2 Ferraris, 2 Mercedes, and then just 1 Red Bull of Daniel Ricciardo. So this could be a great P6, but to do that we're going to have to get past our teammate Lance Stroll. At the moment you can see as we brake as late as possible, we close up, but it looks like he's got some decent pace in a straight line. Of course he'll definitely be running a lot lower wings than I am, and so he's going to have that advantage. And even with DRS there opening a little bit late there, a bit tardy as we exit that corner, getting away from Verstappen though, so at least that's good that we're getting away from him, so a little bit less pressure. Although saying that, by lap 9 now, Stroll's actually holding us up in the corners through sector 3 and sector 2. I've definitely got the pace. He's holding us up in sector 1 basically, and that's actually backing us up into Verstappen, so we need to get this done as early as possible. Open up the DRS, rich mix going on the left hand side now, and this should be cleanly past Lance Stroll, and now we can focus on the braking zone. But there is obviously the second bite of the cherry of DRS, and the activation point is going to come through in this chicane, so he's going to have another chance to maybe come back at us now. So we'll focus on the exit then of that corner, try and plant the power down as early as we can, and so we are going to stay ahead until lap 10 that is. You can see moving on, the proximity arrow is still there from Lance Stroll, and in the mirrors he's there. He's going to have DRS, and he's going to have other ideas about spoiling the party of us getting P6. Verstappen also with DRS and Nico Hülkenberg, so we may have a 4-way scrap maybe if we fight enough. Myself and Stroll going side by side again. We tuck in actually behind Stroll, brake a little bit early, you could maybe see as our car kind of looked like it darted backwards almost compared to where Stroll was on that, because I know I'm going to get the second bite of the cherry with DRS here, and I may as well be a bit more patient and not try and send down the inside, because if we fight too much, Verstappen is going to close up on us, and even with the deficit in a straight line, he will have a good go, knowing Verstappen, and also Hülkenberg's there, and the Renault cars aren't too bad default on the game either on a straight line, so we need to be careful there and play this a bit more tactically, and maybe kind of wait till the last few laps if we're going to really fight Stroll. But right now at the moment just trying to get some easy DRS passes at the moment, so getting in the slipstream once more for the second time now in this race of Stroll. He goes defensive to the middle of the circuit, pinches a little bit to the outside curbing. We go to the inside of the chicane, we're going to lop him off, and we're going to open up the steering wheel, and we're back up into 6th place. But you can see now marginal on fuel, so we're down a lean mixture now on this back stretch to try and save that fuel. Verstappen looks a little bit punchy, he's right up the gearbox of Stroll. Stroll goes defensive, weaving around a little bit dangerously actually from the young Canadian. median, but does hold it ahead of Verstappen. So now we move later into lap 12 now. So with 2.5 laps to go pretty much, this is maybe the time where Stroll's going to make another attack. And at the moment, I'm struggling with a bit of tyre wear, locking up on the left tyre into that chicane. And so now Stroll's going to come back at us now. He's going to have DRS, rich mix flowing. We're in standard mixture because I don't have all the fuel to burn in the world. And so he's going to shoot it to the inside. We're going to go to the inside of himself. So he probably didn't think we were going to come back at him. We go side by side now. So because it's the last few stages of the Grand Prix, I'm going to fight him hard here in this sector because I think if we can just get him now, we can bolt away maybe on the last lap and that'll be it. So we go side by side. We're still there. He's still got his nose in there. So through the double right hand, pretty much flat out, almost usually flat out in qualifying, we lift off a tad to give him this space. He cuts the corner somewhat on the curbing there, but we give him the room. And so as we go through under the hotel, we're going to squeeze him out eventually and we'll be up into P6 for the final time. And it's no issue for us. We're going to come across the line and it is going to be a very, very awesome P6 for Felipe Massa from last place on the grid. So nice way to end out Felipe Massa's career in the game, at least. I don't know what position he's going to get in real life. Let's hope it's a good one. Obviously, you know, he had a bit of a, you know, unfortunate ending at the Brazilian Grand Prix in 2016. He kind of made up for it with his second retirement, having a good one at Brazil last time out in the real life races. So let's hope he can have a good one here. Obviously, do let me know what you thought about the real life Grand Prix in the comments below. Once again, guys, obviously this being uploaded after, but the commentary being done and the recording being done before the real life Grand Prix. So let's see if I've jinxed anything. Hopefully I haven't jinxed Massa big time. Otherwise, that'll be a little bit unfortunate. But yeah, guys, if you have enjoyed the challenge video, then hit that like button. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. Let me know, guys, if you want to see me continue this in some sort of way, you know, doing more kind of last to question mark challenges, maybe with some of the other races that I didn't do on F1 2017, perhaps. Obviously, the season's over, so this series won't really, you know, have a need every single, you know, race weekend because there isn't a race until obviously Australia for next season. So let me know about that. I'd be curious to see if you guys do want to see that or just any kind of other challenge videos maybe. But do get subscribed if you're around here for weekly Formula 1 content. I've been Aarava. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.